A reading from the prophet Ezekiel. The angel brought me to the entrance of the temple, where a stream came out from under the temple threshold and flowed eastwards, since the temple faced east. The water flowed from under the right side of the temple, right round outside, as far as the outer east gate, where the water flowed out on the right-hand side. The man went to the east, holding his measuring line, and measured off 1,000 cubits. He then made me wade across the stream. The water reached my ankles. He measured off another 1,000 and made me wade across the stream again. The water reached my knees. He measured off another 1,000 and made me wade across again. The water reached my waist. He measured off another 1,000, and it was now a river which I could not cross. The stream had swollen and was now deep water, a river impossible to cross. He then said, "Do you see, Son of Man?" He took me further, then brought me back to the bank of the river. When I got back, there were many trees on each bank of the river. He said, "This water flows east down the Arabah and to the sea, and flowing into the sea, it makes its waters wholesome. Wherever the river flows, all living creatures teeming it will live. Fish will be very plentiful, for wherever the water goes, it brings health, and life teems wherever the river flows. All along the river, on either bank, will grow every kind of fruit tree with leaves that never wither and fruit that never fails. They will bear new fruit every month, because this water comes from the sanctuary, and this fruit will be good to eat, and the leaves medicinal." This is the word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold.
God is for us a refuge and strength, a helper close at hand in time of distress. So we shall not fear, though the earth should rock, though the mountains fall into the depths of the sea.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold.
The waters of a river give joy to God's city, the holy place where the Most High dwells. God is within, it cannot be shaken. God will help it at the dawning of the day.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold. Come, consider the works of the Lord, the redoubtable deeds he has done on the earth.
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our stronghold.
Praise and honor to you, Lord Jesus. A pure heart create for me, O God, and give me again the joy of your help. Praise and honor to you, Lord Jesus.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John. There was a Jewish festival, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now at the sheep pool in Jerusalem there is a building called Bethzatha in Hebrew, consisting of 5 porticos, and under these were crowds of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed. One man there had an illness which had lasted 38 years. And when Jesus saw him lying there, and he knew he had been in this condition for a long time, he said, "Do you want to be well again?" "Sir," replied the sick man, "I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is disturbed. And while I am still on the way, someone else gets there before me." Jesus said, "Get up, pick up your sleeping mat, and walk." The man was cured at once, and he picked up his mat and walked away. Now that day happened to be the Sabbath. So the Jews said to the man who had been cured, "It is the Sabbath. You are not allowed to carry your sleeping mat." He replied, "But the man who cured me told me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" They asked, "Who is the man who said to you, 'Pick up your mat and walk'?" The man had no idea who it was, since Jesus had disappeared into the crowd that filled the place. After a while, Jesus met him at the temple and said, "Now you are well again, but be sure not to sin anymore, or something worse may happen to you." The man went back and told the Jews that it was Jesus who had cured him. It was because he did things like this on the Sabbath that the Jews began to persecute Jesus. The Gospel of the Lord. The lucky man in today's Gospel waited 38 years before he finally experienced the miracle that he was longing for. And I suppose in that way he demonstrates to us the virtue of patience. And perhaps we might just consider this: had he not been prepared to wait all that time, he may never have met Jesus. He was also a very poor man. Not only was he paralyzed and in need of healing, but he was also alone, living on the streets with no one to help him. And we know this from the fact that he was carrying, or that he had with him, a sleeping mat. He was basically a rough sleeper. And in that way, he demonstrates to us the virtue of humility. And I think we too, like the paralyzed man, need to have the virtues of patience and humility if we would like to see Jesus face to face and experience his grace more powerfully in our lives. And I think perhaps we could do well as part of our Lenten observances to examine ourselves and see perhaps how we are faring in these virtues already. Am I patient? Or do I get annoyed if things take place too slowly for my liking? Am I prepared to wait for those who seem slow, perhaps, to understand me? Do I ever feel superior to others, or do I look down on others as less fortunate or as less successful than I might happen to be? However you feel about these two virtues, try making some time today and throughout the rest of this Lent to have a little think about them. And maybe to ask God to nurture and cultivate those virtues within you. As Psalm 40 says, "I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined his ear to me. He heard my cry. He drew me up from the desolate pit, out of the miry bog, and set my feet upon a rock, making my steps secure. He put a new song into my mouth, a song of praise to our God." So let's be like the paralyzed man. Wait for the Lord, his day is near.